Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are joining us for the first time, please let me know so that I can greet you properly. Welcome you to this beautiful life. We are Makoya Rundown indeed. We are here Monday to Friday, 20 past 10. And we have wonderful conversations that are uplifting, where we are all learning, where we are all improving, things that influence and impact our lives positively. So let's do so. I'll join Kasha next week. What do you mean, sir, by you will join Kasha next week as an on the panel? What do you mean, scenes? Kindly share the live. There's currently about 11 of us here. If we can just share the live so that people can know that we are on, and continue tapping. Tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen. Tap the screen indeed. Mokaji. Hello, hello, we see you. Is your network better, Lee? Thank you for sharing.
Bro.
How you doing, Mokaji? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Where are you joining us from today? I understand you, but sensor. No, I understand with that. We'll see you when you are fully on it. Webby, morning. How are you, bro? How is your day today? Um,
Sure, bro.
Lee, can you hear me, though?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
No, I couldn't, but now I can.
Okay, you know what, Nikita, I feel like that artwork fair, but again, Ghana is like quickly. You know what, like there's a lot of things I must do now, actually, like, before we start. So, let
No
me just,
stress. No
so,
stress, Peter.
where?
Alrighty. Mukhaji, I'm always at work. I do join when my lunch is at 10, but today I'm off. Woohoo! Woohoo! Thank you for joining, Mukhaji, and joining as and when you can. Can't you at work like put on headsets when you're at work? Are you able to put on headsets even when you join and you're not able to participate? We do appreciate seeing you there. The female do our very own brown do. Um, I work in retail. Phones are not allowed on the floor. Yeesh. So sorry, so sorry. But we do appreciate you being able to join us as and when you're able to. How you doing when a female do? Are you good and well? Right, Lee, when you are ready, you can come through and do the ads while I change the background, please. Slay Bomber. We see you. Butsej, been a while, bruv. Hope you well.
Message out. Anyway, so yeah, man, guys, but again, guys, as like this is Leroy talking here, right, by the bottom right corner, and remember to follow Vela Jin ZA, right? Vela Jin ZA. So we are about to post some new content, yeah, there as in like the full, as in like video that we did like a while back. So please, like born like follow a like a more, and then like yeah, man, and happy. Remember to actually buy your gin for only 150 rands, right? You can get yourself a bottle of like Vela gin for 150 rand. And remember, vuli velo valu valo, right? But then again, remember to drink responsibly. So shout out to our sponsor there. We're doing great things very soon, very soon. We are gonna shoot very soon, guys. Probably this weekend. Yeah. But then now we just hope that what's that KG won't be like what's that summoned again. But then hey, bona, we thank the Lord, we thank the parents, and bona re lebogela botshelo motho weso bona itumelle.
Thank you so much, Lee. There are benefits to being summoned by the parents. I came back with cooler box full of meat, chief.
Exactly.
Cooler box full of meat. So
Hey, Joe. Working Joe Pills, like working. How was Maftown, Joe?
Maftan was good, man. It was all good and well until Sunday.
What
Like,
happened?
you know how the weather switched. It basically just rained and it was a
Oh,
bit crazy. But other than that, it was cool. The atmosphere was alright. Yeah, didn't get to see a lot of people, of course, because when you're someone, you're not going to do your own things, lap.
exactly.
So yeah, but it was great. It's always great to be home, and that's why when I get a chance to go home, I kind of disconnect from the world and just spend time with the folks. So yeah, but it was quite good, man.
That's amazing, bro. That's
Leka
amazing.
achaya zirast.
Me, bro, when I wait to join it, says when I wait to gonna was zero as in like what's that? 2 years ago, dog.
Yo,
2 years, my bro. When I say hi, Joe. So now I'm like,
tsama go gata mabala kgosi, tsama go gata
hey,
mabala.
it's again like seriously, check. But then, hey, man, we're here. But guys, know it. Like, let me play you the disclaimer now because I have to do like something, like as like real quick.
Do that, sir.
Then I'll be back. Now, yeah.
Alrighty.
All right, let me do that quickly. Uh,
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the individuals participating in the conversation and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the podcast host or any affiliated organization. Listener discretion is advised.
hallelujah, Bazalwan. Claro, company.
Thank you so much. Check out the comments there. I think Sedge had asked you a question there. You can answer it while you are on mute.
Oh, no. You, you Arabic, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
No,
So God
it's
look at 750 meals, guys, né? So
there we
you my
go.
God.
Righty. Thank you so much, sir. And Lee, do tell me if our guest is when she is around. Then yeah.
All right, cool.
We will do so. Righty, let me highlight everyone. We see you there, girl with a gap. I hope you're very well. Who else has joined us? Google and Gossi. Welcome, Mama. We see you there, Tabo Moarika. I hope I get it right. Hey, Muzi, how you doing there, bruv? Much appreciated for you joining us. Yes, we are still here. Lee, good morning, good morning, good morning. Annie Tinker, pal. Reading names is always funny. Dipulela, good morning, good morning. How you doing? It's been a minute. I've been great. Hope you all are good. There we go. Right, today we are here. It's okay, Leroy. Today we are here, and Tuesday. Hello, hello, Annie. We appreciate you joining us today. Tebuland, how you doing? Right. So, for those who are joining us for the first time, we are Makoya Around Down. We're here Monday to Friday, 20%, and we have awesome conversations. So please join us, share the live so that more people can come through and know that they are lives. And also, please tap the screen. Let's get to 50K, and we can usually able to do that within 30 minutes. If you just take time and just go tap 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 on the screen, that should be all possible. We really appreciate you. It helps share the live and make sure that it gets seen everywhere else. Okay, and on Tuesday, there was a good conversation that was had, and one of the topics that then came out of that was this one that we have here. Someone requested that we talk about marriage, and I did not want to be too specific as to the question, and I figured let me go more with a broad question. And this is the one that I came up with. Is marriage still attractive to you? You know? Listen, you can take all the short lefts that you want, the direction that you want, in answering these questions, and let's have conversations. And if you have questions directly to me, please do ask. I do have a certificate myself of this marriage institution, so I might be able to answer a few questions if you're interested in knowing a bit more on that. And yeah, there's already an answer there from Naomi. Uti, no, not attractive. Why, Mama? What's happening? Girl with the cap, it was never attractive to me. I will be drinking a lot of tea today, clearly. Kidiboni, welcome. Katlogomorobani, welcome. Thank you there for the likes, tabs. I don't want to traumatize y'all with a story, but trauma is trauma, ma'am. If you're not traumatized by your story, you will be traumatized by something else nowadays. Budin, Shopkun Chani Putayam. You're right. Best hood ever, regardless. Okay. Thank you for the follow, Kidiboni. Much appreciated. Thank you for sharing the live, Katlachama Robani. We really appreciate you for doing that. And yeah, follow, share, do the rose business, do the heart business, tap the screen. Listen, get involved. Let's do this. Hopes in Piwe. Appreciate you. We see you. Unati, yes, it is still attractive, but it has to be with my husband. Okay. Please elaborate more. What do you mean it has to be with your husband? Because the assumption is that there will be a second party into the marriage. So what's with that emphasis? Lenyalo le monate. Lenyalo le monate bana bathong. Please tell them Sekgothudi. It is so nice and nice the start of life. How are you doing? Hopes Piwe, are you well? Lulu, welcome. David Mahang, welcome. Join in. Let's have the conversation. Here's a question for you. Any direction that you want to take it. In answering this question, you can also request to be on the panel. Apologies for all the weaves. If you want to join the panel, please do so. We just have a few rules when it comes to the panel. We don't speak over each other. We await our turn, and you can disagree with someone's opinion without bashing them or insulting them or attacking who they are. It is just an idea. It is just an opinion. If you feel that it rattles you a little bit or rubs you off the wrong way, please, if you can't be respectful while you're communicating your opinion, maybe you can keep it to yourself. So let's please make sure that we have a very wonderful environment where we can have these discussions. Thank you for the follow there, Mamo. Kilebukhila, welcome, and thank you for the share, Budin. Really appreciate it. I don't find it attractive anymore. Why, Ndu? Why anymore? I'm interested in that anymore. What's happening? I just saw a request. I thought someone was requesting. Confused. So yes, why is it not attractive anymore to you? And I think I saw someone already also. Unati, please come back. Tell me why. What do you mean by as long as it is with your husband? Are you not yet married to your person? What's happening? Come through, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do. I fear being single while married. Hey,
Yeah, now like that, like
deep things.
that's a reality actually.
Sure. Yeah,
That's
no.
reality right there.
It's, also it's very obviously, every context is different. However, I think before you get into a marriage and being alone in a marriage, most likely you would have been alone in a relationship. So how did it get to that point? Did it just switch when it was just in the marriage, or what's happening? I've seen a lot of horrors in marriage. I don't think I want to go through it. Yo, Pakit. Has it only been horrors? Have we not seen greater things and better things in marriage? Unati min ho monate mo lenyalong la rona. It has to be with him and only him, or khaki interested. Okay, so you are married then, Unati. Okay, cool. So as long as it is with your husband, you are all good. Okay. Welcome, Karabs. Thank you for joining us. Who else? But that's the reality. When you get married, you will feel more single. Oh, Sedge, Jan, how? How does that work? Y'all are bringing things that I don't know. What's happening? Now I know they do change in marriage. Okay. Marriage is attractive if you have the right partner. Okay. All right. I hear you. But marriage, in my instance, when Senzo, is that you are responsible for choosing your partner. That has nothing to do with the institution itself. But the institution itself ideally should stand by its own in terms of it being attractive or not. All right. So maybe we can delve deeper. Why is it not attractive? Is it because people don't have regard for the institution, don't know what the institution is about? People have their own ideas. There's less education on the institution of marriage, perhaps. So people, when they get in, we're all coming in with their own perspective of it. Therefore, we struggle. What's happening? Sedge, you have to be comfortable being alone. Okay. All right. I think I hear you. All right. Let's see. Good and bad. Mbali, come with it. Explain what is the good, what is the bad. No such thing as the right partner. Says responding there to Senso. You have to be comfortable on your own. Okay, we are traumatized. Yo, guys, why a little trauma? Some of it. Nalimatata, it's
Yeah,
Leroy.
it's
What
a lot
happened, man?
bona go thata kgosi yaka.
Okay, I'm inclined to believe, or rather to agree with Serge there. The right partner doesn't exist. You create them, or you create it. I see your direction. So Nkosi, Dean says you must help him find the right partner, Bali. This is my 20 past 10 appointment. Thank you for meeting our appointment every time. We see you there, Simpio 25 or 251. We appreciate you. I want a life partner who will have his own place slash setup. We are financial partners, Kahleka. Get with the gap. Okay, so I know you want a business partner. Is that what we're here about now? This is where we at, guys. You don't want to breathe the same air with another human being. Welcome, Malim Kali. Senzo, let's hear it though.
Good morning, guys. I will be very, very short. I am on the
Please do.
road.
I
Good morning.
understand.
I just wanted to clarify when we're talking about marriage, the institution, then I wouldn't do it again, right? But
Okay.
if I were to choose again, I would still choose both my partners, the ones that I'm married to right now. They are perfect in they are the right partners for me, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's not about you having to create your partner. Um, if that person is I mean, a human being they already know what they want, right? That person already knows what they want, therefore, they will definitely be the right person for you if
Mm.
you both, share the same views and values and morals and so forth, right? So then that is the right person for you. Then I will not really scrap the idea of creating your own right person, right? Because it may happen that you may fall in love with someone and they are not what you wished or that want them to be, but you can create them, teach them how to be, the right person for you. That is a possibility. But we also, as I said, I'm not going to scrap that out. So if you have a different view, don't scrap out the fact that there is a right person for you out there. So yes, both my partners are right for me. Yeah, but I will step down.
Thank you so much, Bistenza. Much appreciated. When you can come back again, let me know why you wouldn't want to do it again. So yeah, get on the road for now, and we'll talk. All right, Naomi. Hello, Mama.
Sanbonan,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm a bit warm today, so no complaints.
Lucky are you. Lucky are you.
It's because of marriage. So
Ish, bona
continue.
futhi yazi. Look, I won't scrap out the fact that there are actually like good marriages out there.
Mm-hmm.
Mina ngikhuliswe ugogo nomkhulu who were married for a very long time, had 6 kids, and these people were in love. That is when I saw love,
Mm.
right? But it's because it was done right.
Okay.
Right, and I won't actually know what the secrets was there because there was longing and there was distance. Like Umkulam was a truck driver.
Okay.
My grandmother was a housewife all her life. They got married when my grandmother was 18, but this was Umkulu's second marriage, whereas her first marriage umfazi wakhe washona. So if we were to consider every aspect of ukuthi bokungana cell phone, there was no social media, all those aspects that we now have now, I guess that's why the marriage was perfect, because whatever that happens on the road or whatever that happens during the day, you're not calling your person. But once they get home, you have so much to talk about, you have so much to catch up on. You understand? Whereas now we don't have the same privilege, right? So I won't say Uguti, that is how you need to be. I won't say Uguti, that is how you need to be to have a perfect marriage, but I'm just saying Uguti, I did see an example of a good marriage and it worked. But I also saw horrors in marriage, right? Where a man can marry you and irregardless of the promises that he has made, but just decide Uguti, actually, this doesn't work for me anymore. Umuntu ave nje decide nje ukuthi yeah, this doesn't work for me anymore. With that being said, sekaletha omunye umuntu owesi-2 and not discussing it with you, or just leaving the marriage without even a divorce, without explanation, without anything, irregardless of the fact that you guys have kids together or whatnot. So I'm not quite sure what, like, should I tell you guys the story or not? But yeah, that's very wild to me. Ukuthi, you can be
Yeah.
married and be single, and you can be married and a person just decide, ukuthi, irregardless of our commitments, I'm just opting out, I'm done.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. It is. It is. Hey. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. It is a. For me, the points that you mentioned allude to the question of saying, do we? I don't know. Is it the issue of education of what this institution is? I understand people have a proclivity to do as they please and, tick and turn marriage as they want and to their own benefit or however shape and form they want. But I think at some point we need to get to a point where we agree that there are certain foundations and pillars and fundamental things that every marriage should have. And then there's those superficial things, those add-ons, those things that are very specific to the two people who are married, that we have the liberty to play around. So when cases where we're speaking about someone deciding tomorrow that not anymore, are they saying not anymore to you as their partner, or are they saying not anymore to the institution? Because for me, I would think it's beneficial to have to look at it as two things that happen. Could be three people involved, or three entities involved, right? It is two people coming together into an institution, and there are certain things that needs to be at play with regards to the institution that the two people have to do and play. So it's possibly a bad idea to make this comparison, but it is a contract. Two people or parties getting into a contract, they have to play to the rules and regulations of that particular contract, and that is what continues to bind the two people in terms of how we behave, what we do, and everything else to make sure that this contract continues to work and benefit both of us. So, are people now ignoring the element of the contract? Are people ignoring the element of the institution and therefore just only focus on them two? Or how are we looking at it? All right, so let me give, I think it is Mpo Christ, the opportunity to weigh in, and I will try and catch up with the comments. My God, Leroy, please help me with the comments, my guy. Come through, Mpo.
All right.
Mpo, you can unmute, please.
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
Very well, very well. Say yourself.
Ish, overworked and underpaid, bro.
Do something about it, please. We can't have such things ongoing.
No, definitely. So to answer your question, is marriage still attractive to you? I'm gonna start with this statement. Love is a beautiful thing. Love is the most beautiful thing in the world. Secondly, if done right with the right motive, Mjolo is the most fulfilling thing ever. Now, is marriage still attractive? To me, yes, I think marriage is still attractive. Marriage is super relevant in terms of number one, stability. You know, and I'm saying all of this with the right person, with the right intentions, following up to my first statements. Stability emotionally, psychologically, physically, financially, and spiritually. You're more stable, you're more focused on getting your goals done, reaching your goals, and doing things to get to where you want to go to. Secondly, family. When you're building a family, you need a partner. You can't do it alone. You know what I mean? And if both of you are like-minded and you guys understand where you're going, then you will value the institution of marriage. So what currently makes marriage seem unattractive is that there's a horde of people, and it's weird how it's everybody just follows the gravy train when people say, "Oh, mjolo hanyisa, hey, marriage does not last. Hey, what's our heard?" All of this stuff. People say that because they know themselves and they know that the motive to why they want to do this thing is wrong. You know, when one goes into a relationship and your motive is I'm gonna break this person's heart, then something's wrong with you. You need serious help. You know what I mean? You need deliverance. I can even use that word. Give it demon into life straight. You know, but if you go into it saying, you know what, I'm gonna be all about that person. My focus is literally gonna be him or her. I'm gonna serve them and I'm gonna give my all to them, and they outlook on it is the same as yours, and the person's like, you know what, I'm gonna serve this person, I'm gonna love on this person, I'm gonna push them to become the best version of themselves as they push me to become the best version of myself, then you're gonna have a beautiful marriage. And everybody has to understand that when we come onto this table of marriage, you need to tell me, okay, what are your expectations? What is it that you don't expect? What are your belief? What's your belief system? What do you believe in? Who do you pray to? Do you pray to God or do you pray to gods? Are you Muslim? Are you Christian? Whatever it is, are we aligning in those? How do you view money? Because most people break up because of money. What's your relationship like with money? Are you a passive spender? Are you an impulsive buyer? Are you frugal? What's your relationship with money? How are you when you're angry? Let's put it like that. When you're angry, are you aggressive? Are you a recluse when you're angry? And then how are you when you are broke? Because that's also an important thing. Because when people have money and when people are broke, two different people. How are you when you are broke? Because now I need to understand how to deal with you. So if we come in with those with the right intention and right motive to say, you know what, I am going to do this right. I'm gonna be about this person, and no matter what their flaws are and whatever baggage they bring in, because I love this person and I believe in them and I'm sold out to them, I'm gonna work through those things with them. And I need to also, and this is my last point, I need to also be super content with the person that I pick to marry. I need to have tunnel vision to say, this is the person that I choose. This is who I'm going to be committed to and dedicated to. Even if Beyonce can literally be there on the corner, "Oh, busy, wa tweka, are come get some." No, my focus is this. Oh, ke motho ke motho wa ka, ke motho wa ka. I'm not about anybody else. And if we can be content with the people that we choose to love, then we will understand that the institution of marriage is one of the most beautiful things ever, and nothing can literally break that apart. And in the words of J. Cole, there'll always be a girl that's more beautiful than yours. There's always going to be a car that's better than yours. There's always going to be a house that's bigger than yours. And you'll never be happy until you love yours. Ke la ka leo.
Kids out here. Okay, we can close the live. We are done for the day.
Alela boy, you know what, ne? We are done for you guys born. Born. We're taking the referees, guys. As in, like, thank you for actually joining us, guys. Bye bye.
All jokes, all jokes. Thank you so much, Mpo. Much appreciated. Thank you for that perspective. And you have said a mouthful. I'm not going to try and get into it. I know there are people who might disagree with you. They might have a different opinion, not necessarily disagree, but have a different opinion. So let's also hear those opinions. Much appreciated for coming through. Wow. Female Mdu.
Hi guys, how are you?
We are good. What happened to your voice?
I have a terrible flu.
A shame. Thank you for still honoring us to even get onto the panel with a terrible flu.
I can never miss it. I can never miss it.
Thank you. Come through.
Oh, before I speak, guys, kopa le romelleng di gift tsa lena tsohle le di feng Mpho
I
le
am the boy.
Chaise.
Mdu.
Ke laletsa hao Leroy, yours too.
Wow. Wow,
All of them, just send them to him.
come on, no.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding. But Paul, you said a mouthful. And what I was gonna say that you have already said is that the thing is people are not content with the people that they choose. They they don't understand the depth of marriage being an everlasting thing. Some people get married with the option to divorce. Like, when you get married and divorce is an option. Wa itse gore ga go sa bereke ke tla tswa. Like that for me, it just dissolves the value of marriage. If you are getting married and you have the option to divorce, like you are going in it knowing that if I don't want it anymore, I can come out. That for me is mediocre. It's a joke. Just don't do it at all. You know what I mean? And the other thing that I wanted to say is the thing that makes marriage not attractive anymore is that people only communicate issues when they're fighting about them. We don't sit down and talk about issues when we are not fighting about them, or when, like, outside of arguments. Nje, just have a genuine conversation about, let's say, finances. Have a genuine conversation about how do you feel about cheating, how do you feel about his tempo, how do you feel about communication, honesty. How honest do you want me to be? Like, I rasa communicator. I feel like the dating pool right now in our day and age is very different from the dating pool back then. If I was older, if I was born earlier, I would have gotten married with my chest born. I would have like gone into it, because I feel men back then understood their role in marriage, and women also understood their role. And when they were coming together, it was people that already know what they want to do and what they want from the marriage. These days it's different. It's very different. We don't know what we want. We are led by emotions. You find that you don't even know what you want in a wife. You find out what you want in a wife when you are with a person. You're like, oh, I like how you dress. I think I want my wife to dress like that, so let me make you my wife. It's casual. Like, it's just casual. I sa tsewa serious, man. I sa tsewa serious. Gore banna ba batho, banna ba lena ba re shela left, right, and center. They don't really have to be attracted to us gore ba re ne ke sa kgone go itshwara. No, ga ba leke. They don't even try to tshwara themselves. It's a mess. Like, guys, it's a joke, honestly. Marriage these days is a joke. And I'm not saying everybody's marriage and marriage in general. There's people that still respect marriage. There's people that still value it, and they know why they are married. They know the the value that it holds and what they want from it and stuff like that. But most of them, guys, young husbands these days, ah man, ke joke. They just got married for the fun of it. And yeah, that's just about it. So, nah,
Hey,
that is basically all I have to say.
yeah, no. Today I must just be okay with my heart hurting because wow, mafogwale na watung. Hey, ah. Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, yeah, Leroy, not about something, bruh.
No, no, Arkman, Du is absolutely right, actually, because like most people now, they get into marriage because of the wedding, actually, not fully as in like getting to understand. Then like you, you, you are literally registering yourself with this person forever. Born, you are not, but again, you are not gonna like love your person like every day. Hey, 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 the fairy tale, the English, but you chose that person forever. So as like seven, as in like meaning that you, kore, your bargain can what's that? Your bad days, your good days, you are gonna have to still choose that person. Right now, kore fela nje, as a guys, as in bargain, as in like mina ngishadile mina nje, yabona mina ngiyindoda yasendlini, but then do you even know what that means, dog? You know? Wena fela ntshitse magadi fela so no one as in like bargain, they must know gore wena o yindoda manje. You know? So it's so much you there get hey man hard. But anyway, you know what? Like my turn will come, it's fine.
Yes, please.
Uh,
Relebogile. Hello, hi.
Good morning. Good
How are
morning.
you? I think I'm seeing you for the first time on my panel. Po. How you doing?
Yeah, good, man. Neo sent me the link to the live,
Thank
and
you,
reached out to me.
Neo.
And I saw the topic, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay and I'm gonna request. So, like, literally, like, few minutes in, I'm like, I'm gonna request. I have to be part of this because I cannot miss. I wanna, put my 2 cents in and whatnot and all of that.
Please. Don't just bring
And
the 2 cents, bring the whole 10 Rand.
All right, cool, bet. Mpo, shout out to you, bro. Like you said a mouthful. I, I wanted to cancel my life. I'm like, yo, I shouldn't be here because Mpo took my words, right? But
Yeah.
the reason I also wanna join is this though. There's a saying that I learned this past few days that the old people or the old generation, they found reasons to stay in relationships and marriage.
Mm.
Like they found reasons to stay, and our generation is looking for reasons not to stay in relationships or marriage.
Mm.
And when you're looking about it, you see our country is so messed up in this, because we have literally made dating a pandemic
Mm.
because people don't want to take accountability of who they are. And I understand our history is messed up as a country because in terms of where we come from. So most of us don't have a good foundation of how relationship looks like or marriage, because most people were raised by umagogo or grannies, and their parents were not part of it. So in terms of being in a healthy relationship, they didn't see it, right?
Mm.
And that also is a problem in itself that an individual has to sort it out. But when we're talking marriage as an institution, we have to understand that marriage is not a human invention. It was not invented by human beings. God is marriage. You cannot do marriage outside God. You can talk culture, lobola, it's in the Bible. God instituted that. God is the first person to pay dowry. Eve was born because a rib was taken out of Adam. So that's a dowry that made that person's, right? A friend of mine said this to me, that a woman, Eve was the first person to see God. Eve was the first person to see Adam. So a wife was touched by God first, and she was the one that saw the husband. Then Adam saw Eve and said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, and all of that and some. But as a woman and as a man, the foundation has to start with God. Your beginning has to be with God. Your end has to be with God. I don't care what culture you have. Bring every culture in the world. I will tell you where God is in that culture. But because you want to do marriage outside God because of culture, but then you then have to understand that culture is a lifestyle that was created by human beings, so that we get to understand this creator that gave us life, right? We have different lifestyle in terms of how we perceive God. So we then translate it into culture and traditions. This is how we do things, because based on environment or place that we were in, we created that lifestyle. Hence we differ, Botswana but differ le Mazulu, based on the landscape and the environment is completely different. You go to Botswana used to have water, now it doesn't have water because of what nature did. Similar with Rustenburg Stay, Pilanesberg used to have water, it doesn't have water now. Then you go to Eastern Cape and KZN, they have the highest rainfall. So how they live and how they perceive life is completely different to us. So their culture is going to be different. So that we have to then take to that account, that our culture and our translation to this life is going to be different. But if I choose a partner, I have to understand in terms of where they come from. How is their view in terms of life and how they perceive life and how they move? Because I have to see you when you don't have money, so that I get to understand how you respond. Are you a responsive individual, or do you react to situation? Some of us react to life. We are not responding, and when you're responding, that means you are part of the solution. You are part of you seeing. You are giving a solution to the problem. But if you are reactive to it, pandemic, how do you know that? Like you disqualify yourself before you get into a relationship. And I like to make it in illustration as a salesperson because I sell most of the time. So, and look at this though. If you're failing to sell yourself to one person, how do you think you're gonna sell yourself to other people? And we see the principles when you go to an interview, they ask you who you are, and you should know who you are. You've been with you for the last 25 years, 30 years, but you're still nervous in terms of who you are. That does not make sense, right? For me, it shows that you really haven't discovered who you are. I love talking about myself. I'll tell you about myself all day, every day, because I've taken time to look at myself and understand myself in a way that where my first love, my first love was my grandmother. She's my first love. She's the woman that I received love from, then my mother, right? So I understand my point of view in terms of love and how I should be loved. So any woman that comes into my space, I have to understand, how was your relationship with your mom? How was your relationship with your dad? How was your relationship with your grandfather? Because that will give me an idea in terms of who you are and how you perceive love and how you perceive this life. But also the God element has to be important, because I can't be unequally yoked. Shout out to you. I believe in God. My solution or my governance is the Bible. I'm going to look at the Bible in terms of, okay, how many people got married in the Bible and how do they solve that problem in the Bible, and how should I live? What are the principles to this life thing? Whereas you want to consult and talk to somebody who's dead and whatnot. Shout out to, I'm not bashing all of that answer, but how do you bring solution to the problem? I've heard certain ladies that say this, they don't want, they call, but you respond is different, your emotions was different, you were cold. But I'm like, okay, if he's cold, what is your solution? How do you then mediate that situation? Because I'm not going to be 100% all the time. There's going to be days where I'm 10%, and that's where you have to leverage me. But again, I love my black sisters, but sometimes I question that their love, and I'm picking up a fight here intentionally. So um and I want to bring this finances, right? I have friends that are Indian and I have friends that are white and colored. I can safely say this: when it comes to relationship, all those three ethnicities, they bring 50% to the relationship. I have friends, they got married last year. They went to the UK and Greece, girlfriend and boyfriend. They paid 45,000 equally so to go to Greece, boyfriend and girlfriend, white. Uh, Whereas us, it's more of indoor must. Hey, but show me, like, what do you bring to the solution? If I don't have money, and we've seen the highest divorce rate, which is initiated by women all over the world, by the way. The relationship in this country, they are initiated by black women. All the breakup, relationship and divorce, they are initiated by black women. The highest of I, which is the most craziest thing. The maintenance court, if you go to maintenance court, and I love going there just to listen to why women want to take the men to the maintenance court, and the question that they ask is, they are the reason they initiated that because the man was not working. But show me, are you working when? No, I'm not. And again, it's and for me as a black person, I understand that culture where we come from and the dynamics of family and how we were raised, and we poor, we come from humble beginnings. I understand that, but I need to take accountability of who I am as an individual. And I also understand that this life, if I'm going to walk it, I need to walk with somebody who understands themselves and what they can bring to the table. Okay, I'll cut it there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. So that we give other people the chance to also speak. We really appreciate it. Stay on the panel, and as we roll through, we'll come through. All right. So I will still say, I see the comments there. I did say in the beginning that I give you leeway to take the direction that you want in terms of how you understand this. But yeah, so let's try and keep it to the topic still. But I won't judge you for trying to bring your perspective. And we appreciate you there, Lebohile. Much appreciated. Muzi, come through, please. How are you, sir?
I'm good, and you, family?
Very well, very well, very well. Come through with it.
Yeah. It's very calming to listen to such discussions happening, in those intelligent discussions that does not have to be argumentative, but rather building by nature, and listening to guys like Borile Bogile, Bompo, yourselves, guys. It's very promising for the black men to rise. I mean, we are getting somewhere as a nation. But my 2 cents, my brother, quickly, without wasting any time,
Yes,
is
sir.
marriage still attractive to me?
Yeah.
Marriage is a beautiful thing because not initiated by God, but initiated by humans, because marriage is a human concept.
Okay.
And we need to understand what was the intention of marriage when it was formed by society back then.
Mm-hmm.
It was a form of exchange for the benefit of the families. It was to grow society, and the whole issues of putting religion is one of the problems we find in marriages, because when you get into a marriage steadfast on I'm holding to my Jesus Christ principle without any bashing religion. I'm just sensitizing. I mean, speaking. I'm a married man myself, and I'm speaking from a point of experience. The problems that affects marriage and what makes people to feel that they don't want marriage anymore. You see, being in a relationship with somebody who's steadfast and not willing to compromise from their beliefs is the first problem when you get into a marriage.
Mm.
When you come into a marriage, you have to come up with an open mind. The reason why I feel personally, the reason why most marriages don't work out is because people come with with that rigid attitude that my way or the highway,
Okay.
without trying to meet each other halfway. Because you need to understand, not uh, uh, um, not all of us, like Relebukile have been saying, we have that foundation of, Relebukile, you can hear, he comes from a family where there are 3 generations. The grandmother was there, her mother is there, and you do get what I'm saying? So there is that systematic foundation and consistent foundation that he grew up into, and the practices that, like, you can feel his rigidness towards God being the center of marriage. That is how our mothers believed and our grandmothers believed, and that thing, he's getting into it with that belief into a marriage with somebody who is a Muslim, or with somebody who don't even believe in God altogether. On a Sunday, every Sunday, instead of the family coming together, there is a split within the house. Some people believe the Sundays are made for family. I need to sit with my family, not go anywhere, not do anything. And here comes my partner, goes to Pastor Willing Kulu from Nigeria, who who opens the church from 7 o'clock in the morning until 10 at night. In that case already, because of we are rigid in our beliefs, we don't want to be able to move. It's going to be a problem every Sunday. I'm going to have to sit with this loneliness on Sunday when I see social media. People are sharing. People are. They are spooning together in the bed. The wife is in the kitchen. She's cooking. The kids are in their pajamas. We're all watching TV. Some people just love that on Sunday. They don't want church. I'm just making an example with this. I'm not saying so this. So you end up with a partner who grows up loving you but is lonely inside, because you're not available on a certain time. So there has to be a certain level of openness when we come into these things. Because, remember, my brother, the moment you come into anything with an expectation that I must receive something, already it's a red flag for me. Because if I don't meet your expectations that you come up with, I'm already a failure, even before we start the relationship.
Okay.
And if you're gonna come with your own expectations, I would also have to have my own expectations. And the question is, because of we normally have like to tell a story on the one way, not understanding the other person's side. I will tell him from experience, my brother. Me and my wife, we've been together for 14 years, but we've only been married for 4 years. And you would ask me, what have we been doing for the past 10 years? And I will tell you that the past 10 years before I decided to marry my wife was because of, it was all about me in this marriage. And I never put myself in her shoes. I always, because of I had a thing that I'm a Xhosa man, and I came into a relationship with a Xhosa man mentality. Do you get what I'm saying? Little did I know that something will happen in my life where my Xhosa manhood has to be humbled and her, whatever, become. And at that point, people find it difficult to change. Do you get what I'm saying? I'll give you an example. I lost span, due to COVID and everything. And for a couple of months, my wife was the one who was the breadwinner. And the mentality of Xhosa men, no, I'm not trying to be stereotyped, I'm sorry, but I'm just saying that this is as a society, I don't believe in those things of Xhosa men having their a certain way, but I'm just making an example as a society, how we come into relationships and how this being stereotyped is the one that kills our relationships. I'm going to close in the next coming 1 minute, my brother.
Yeah.
My point is, we need to allow marriage to be spontaneous. It is so beautiful. This is my closing department, brother, to say. Imagine coming in the house and you find your partner with the bags are packed. In the morning when you left, maybe kabanga something, but when you come back, she packed the bags for you. Everything. She just says, honey, let's go for a weekend away. Because some problems, di monate di solvuwa lele ko Cape Town at a Clifton hotel watching the sea. Some problems you cannot be stressed. I'm stressed. I will tell you one thing, but there's one old person once told me, sometimes sex is more nicer in a different bed that you have bought. And you want those kind of spontaneity, someone who will just flow and not be stuck in life. You want somebody who will be able to say, we have a problem, let's move on from it. And I'm willing to let go. You also should be willing to let go. And let's go meet at the neutral place. That's my 2 cents for now, my brother. Let me leave it for other people.
Right. Thank you, Mizi. And I think summing up all you said, your points, and that's the words you've used a lot, flexibility, spontaneity, don't be rigid. So there we go. Thank you for everyone who has followed us. We are Makoya Rundown. We are here Monday to Friday, 20 past 10, and we have conversations like these. Some conversations are actually brought by you to say, guys, I'd like us to talk about this topic. And there was a request for that on Tuesday, that we can talk about marriage, and here we are. So what I would like to ask you of you guys is, please kindly take a bit of 5 minutes and just tap the screen and take a break. Another 5 minutes, tap. Let's get the likes beyond 50K, and we really appreciate that. By the way, we also have a YouTube channel for those who have just joined us. We post these lives on YouTube, so there's already a library of great conversations, some great ideas, some great solutions to some of your problems. So take time and go check that out. And yeah, much appreciated. And let's keep tapping. Let's get over 50K. And let's give the Eagles heart. I can't read the rest. How are you? Please unmute. The Eagle, if you are speaking, you are still mute. Just locate the mute button and unmute. Alrighty. Eagle has not yet landed. Maybe disconnect, request again, and let's try. When you do, please do mute and then be able to unmute on your side. Abu Dini, our marriage is attractive to him. So please make sure that you see Brother Dean there. Kel with the gap, only you will see such things. Okay, let's try again. Eagle, Eagle, can you hear us? Asante Ore, Eagle.
Hey.
Yes, now we can hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Wonderful and improving, sir. And ladies and gentlemen.
Wonderful. Very happy to see you on the platform. I believe I'm seeing you for the first time. So, bring it on, sir.
Oh, sorry.
Bravo. Well, I must say the topic is amazing. I'm in the marriage myself.
Thank you.
I must say, before I got married, yes, I was excited, but I got excited when I got married because I didn't have to plan anything alone to start with.
Okay.
You know, while I'm inside, I also realize that the attraction to each other sometimes will go flat, zero.
Mm-hmm.
But what remains is the commitment to each other. Because when you lose the commitment, you may walk out.
Mm.
So marriage is still very attractive. If I were to lose this one, I will still get married again because this other side of life, the female, is amazing to have in life.
Mm.
Powerful support system in life. But like he said before, you need to have what you'd call you co-create the desires and the future for how you want to be. It is not about you. You are now two. You've become one. Therefore, you bring Ama desires wako on the table. She brings her dreams, and you say, "Okay, let's merge the dreams." Then put priorities. Sometimes when you talk like this, it's like, yeah, Shine, you think that's going to happen. But the truth is, that's the only thing that it works. And sometimes you find that you put priorities, but she comes with something else that changes the priorities. That's when you sit down again and reprioritize. Now now I'm getting into sort of a self-employed system whereby I'm unemployed. I must say I experienced the rough time being unemployed and her being the provider because they are not designed to be the providers in the family. It's unfortunate, really. But they have to step in. Times have changed, and this is attributed to history for men going to war and dying, and the next thing women had to go and work, and that has skyrocketed, making women powerful and more acceptable in the working environment. It's not a bad thing, but to lead in the family, it has become a challenge. It is a challenge. So we have to sit down and say, you know what, honey, you're bringing money in the house. I am not right now. How is this going to work? It has changed. I'm still the man. But because they are not like that, it ends up that one day she speaks a language that makes you feel like, Aibo, you're not even seeing me now. What's going on? And that's not the time to fight. It's the time to say, hey, Kaushale Panswen. That language is not actually loving and caring. Kwenzega, and what's happening? Then again, she talks about challenges and pressure. We're not moving forward. I feel we're staying in the same place and all that. And once you begin to understand that, you begin to realize that sometimes it's not that it's bad. It's about having these conversations with each other. I like the idea that he says, step out of your house. Because when you step out of your house, she ceases to be a wife. She becomes a girlfriend. You're dating her. You become a boyfriend. And so you spice up things, you play. The house has become the familiar battleground where you most argue and fight because of things that are not happening. But when you get out of the battleground, you have to be the two of you and together. And that way you connect very, very well. And I've also learned that, oh, mama, again, hey, they need you to pay attention, whether you're making money or not. But the trouble with us men is that we somehow retrieve without realizing it when you don't have money. In terms of emotions, in terms of connecting, in terms of talking, because you are consumed. When am I going to get the money? What am I going to do? What is this going to happen? This and that. And as Kulum, we don't talk. But when we talk to them, when you talk to a woman, she becomes closer. She can almost do everything for you. So yes, as for me, marriage is still very, extremely a powerful tool in life that we're given as a gift. Because I can imagine without marriage, men and women separate, doing their own things. Disaster number one. When you get a man and a woman together, you're bringing a school of thoughts that are
Yeah.
different thinking to build the future. So, and that thank you. This is amazing, Caleb.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And the eagle has landed indeed. Much appreciated. You brought in some points that I would like to get into as we navigate this conversation. Um, you alluded to two things that I wanted to speak on. Pressure, when you were elaborating on the issue of when the man is no longer able to bring in money into the house, and then how do the dynamics, work at that particular instance. And uh, I would like to say to that what I've realized, particularly also I'm married, and I have been in that particular conversation or situation, where for a period of time I could not be the one who's providing because I was changing from, career to then self-employment and all of that. And what I picked up is that women and men react differently to pleasure. And there are certain pressures that women are best able to handle. There are certain pressures that men are best able to handle. And that gets seen in these instances, right? Where if both of you come from and have been raised in an area where the man is the financial provider mostly, and then you then have a situation where if both of you, that's the case, that now the situation has changed, then how do you both react in that? Because it's unfamiliar territory to both of you, and the financial pressures of providing, and I would say, and it does not obviously apply to all women, but I think they behave differently than how men will handle that type of pressure, mostly perhaps because of we've been doing it more or whatever the case may be. And it is not even, and I would go as far as saying that's where, particularly as men, we need to be very forgiving in such instances, because we are really quick to jump to the issue of disrespect because she is now speaking to you in a certain manner, or she's doing things in a certain manner without then realizing, and you spoke to that when you said now we need to pay attention. So if you're not paying attention, you would miscrew this to be disrespect, but it could just be because she's just handling pressure that she has never had to handle before, and she does not know how to navigate that. And I would dare and say that as a man, it is still your opportunity to lead in that environment where you can show that, oh no, mama, I've been doing this thing in a while. Let me show you how this you can handle it. Or you know what, in as much as you're bringing in money, do not have to worry about what needs to happen in the house. Let me do that because I've been able to do that before. I've had practice with that. So this is where coming together and understanding the different strengths that we have, male and female, and see which one is best. And what I found in my marriage, how that has helped us, is that we have an ideology that money that comes into the household belongs to the household. Matters not who brings the money. And in this instance, we each have our own responsibilities in what we do. I enjoy reading contracts and terms and conditions and everything like that. That's what I do in my marriage. My wife doesn't have to worry about such things. My wife doesn't have to worry about what has to be paid where and whatever, because I know the terms and whatever. I just need to tell her small things if there's needed. And we understand that that is that. And what she's best in is making sure that my wife is more, I would say, financially savvy than I am. I'm a spender. I want to do things whenever I want to do them, type of a thing.
Yes.
But she is more of a very, we need to have savings, we need to do this, we need to do that. So there's a bit of compliment in there, but we also know that I must be able to stop when she pulls the reins and say, Baba Ngati, you're going too far. Come back. And I need to understand that there's no disrespect there. It's because I'm just acting on my impulses and the way I behave with money. And then I also need to understand when she's been too frugal and be like, ma'am, relax a bit, let's live, type of a situation. So there's that. So the element of how we handle pressure of provision in the household, we need to understand and be forgiving, because both of us have different strengths, females and males. So we need to understand which one is best suited for that. And once we understand that your role as a man, in as much as it is to provide, but you're not only providing money. Are you providing security? Are you providing leadership? Are you providing love? Are you providing care for emotional stability? And all of these things, are you able to provide those in your home besides money? And you will be tested when there is no money. And that's what we're speaking to. How do you behave when you're broke? Is your manhood only associated to money and being able to perform in bed? Is it that all that it is? If those get taken away, are you no longer a man? So it's those conversations that we need to be having. And to what Lebukhila was talking about, know yourself. Let me not go too far. Thank you so much for bringing that, Eagle. If you can just mute on your side so that we have other people bring in. Ndu, can you please allow me to skip you? Or then I can bring Dev and then come to you. Is that fine? Deva, I hope it's Dev. Please come.
Morning, guys.
How are you, sir?
I'm good in yourself.
I'm very well, thank you. And I think I'm seeing you for the first time on the panel. To you.
No, but
Come
then,
through.
Yeah,
but
gents and ladies, hey, this is a topic that one needed to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I myself, I'm a married man. And then there are a couple of things, what I will say. I will still want to say marriage is still an attractive thing. So me saying that is because of in a marriage, it's not just a smaller thing that you need to just take it lightly. You understand? So this thing, it comes in a way whereby you don't just have to get married for no reason or for some things that you just see somebody as a person who's got material things. But what you need to do, firstly, you need to pray for your partner. You understand? I'll touch a bit in the Bible, if you'll allow me to say.
Mm-hmm.
Because on Genesis 2, chapter 2, verse 21, and then it says, God caused a deep sleep into a man, and then he take out a rib. You understand? So God said, I will make a suitable helper for you. So then this suitable helper will assist you in many things that you are about to do or about to accomplish in your life. And then the man say, this is a bone of my bone. So it's not that difficult 100%, but if you've got that thing yokuthi niyabambisana nomuntu wakho, we understand, iyo lento leyo. And then again, respect is the only thing that you need to have in your relationship. And then try to sit down with your partner. If you see that something is no longer going in the way lo boyibone ngayo, try ukuthi nihlale phansi nilungise, because that person, it doesn't matter how the age it is, the gap or what. Even mostly amadoda yiwo mhlambe thothi umdala kunkosikazi wakho, then mombona ngathi wenza something ngathi ayisakujabulisi, try to sit her down, put it in a good way, ukuthi she will understand ukuthi this and this, you don't like it. You understand? So again, You need to have that thing yokuthi you must have a prayerful partner. Nikhulekeni ni-two, and you alone sometimes uma wena mhlambe u-off njengamanje I'm off. I need to pray for everything in my marriage in order ukuthi izinto zihambe ngendlela e-right. You understand? Then I'm 5 years married now, but in a relationship I've got 11 years. So hence it's not easy 100% to start a human being because umuntu, they say uyashintsha. Sometimes you can argue ngento encane mhlambe akasafuna ukuthi ubone abangani umuntu onjalo nje ukuthi unesikhwele into ezinjalo. Try to understand ukuthi why lento akutshela yona ukuthi no ungasayi ebanganini is because of 1 2 3 4. You understand? Make her or make your partner to be your best friend. Because ezinye izinto ezenza ukuthi i-marriage ingasabi that attractive is because you go astray. Omunye, for example, you don't attend the same church. Omunye ubelievela kwezinto bamfundisa ezinye izinto different than what when you believe in. You understand? And then my parents were married, so I learned from my father ukuthi our mama always, they're always on that high note ukuthi bahlala bathetha noma kungafanelanga ngezinto ezingamele ukuthi bathethe ngazo. You understand? Try to avoid such conflict ukuthi ngabe nisolvile. And if you've got problems, nina need to enathi I do. Try to sit down. Try ukuthi nibonisane ngoba kwesinye isikhathi nathi sisebenzisa that power ukuthi I'm the head of the house, I'm the one who's providing, I'm the one who's the superior in the house, but ukhohlwa ukuthi this is your umlingani wakho niyalingana kumele nibambisane. Yayibona? So I think yizo izinto lezo ngicabanga ukuthi mina i-marriage it can still be attractive to your partner ngoba kumele understand na ukuthi umuntu onjani. Because umuntu uyachange uma wena umkhulekisa each and every day ukuthi Lord, I don't want this into my partner but I want 1 2 3 rather than ukuthi attack ukuthi izolo ubuye ngo11 ebusuku what you understand, because maybe une reason ukuthi why abuye ebusuku mhlambe ngoba uhlala urasa into ezinjalo akathandi the way sokhuluma naye ngakhona. You may find ukuthi wena bakutreata ngathi so ingane ku marriage yakho abantwana sengathi bantu abadala mabakhuluma nabo then ababathethisi bona mangababuye ngo7 ebusuku, but wena once waskipha wabuya half7 then they think ukuthi so ubuya somewhere kanti maybe ubuya kumajita ufuna ukuthola ama-advice agrand ukuthi guys, this is the challenges that I'm having endlini, what must I do? Unlike ukuthi uyofika emotweni uhlale isikhathi eside ulinde baze balale then ngikhona so uye endlini. You understand? So you need to find a way. You must have a solution. Ungayibalekeli problem. Problems are there and they will always be there, but people must solve their own problem because ama problems lasihlangana nawo, they are not the same. Abanye sale bagilwa before, so ucabanga ukuthi mhlawumbe uma uyenza 1 2 3 ucompare nomuntu lo ake yazwana naye before. Sometimes maybe omunye umuntu uzokutshela ukuthi no, mina been married before, then when you are my second partner engishade nayo lo yabekenza 1 2 3. You understand? So you need to tell that person no, phela this is imoto different lo so igibelile manje ayisafani naleya ilebo igibele ekucaleni leya vele bezokhosa ama accident because udriver wabeka idriver mhlambe aphuzile and some stuff, but mina I'm this kind of a person. You understand?
Yeah.
Make the person to know you ukuthi what kind of a person are you, and don't just tell a person ukuthi wena umuntu onjani. They say action speaks louder than words. Let your action speaks for you. You understand? And try to be transparent. I know sometimes we've got those skeletons ukuthi unayo, but try ukuthi umuntu wakho at least akwazi at least let me say 90%, the other 10% ilenzo work out aniyilungise. Yes.
Much spoken. Thank you so much, Dave. Yeah, I think quite a lot that you've mentioned, and sure, I don't even know where to start. But I really appreciate what you have brought in, and I think we need to let me start with the last one that you spoken in terms of knowing your partner and being transparent and things like that. I think it would be very unfair to your partner if some people know parts of you that your
Yes.
partner do not know. I think if you could look at it in that manner, then you will see the importance of being transparent to your partner. And I don't know if it would be so great if, and these things tend to come out, you meet
Yes.
someone who knows you, they meet you with your partner, they bring out something that your partner never knew about you, and it makes you feel bad. Kuti, how? I've been with you for 25 years. I
Yes.
don't even know this single thing about you, yet someone else does. So if you view it in that particular manner, you will see the importance of having to share with your partner. And sometimes, yes, it's fair. You might not think certain things are that important to your partner, or even to bring up, or it's even things that you yourself want to forget, but think about the future of saying, is it okay that my partner will be 50 years or whatever time that we spend together and they don't know this particular thing about me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, to add on that, if maybe you have problems, don't rush to tell your family members, because I might made a mistake and that mistake can be resolved easily. That's why bathi wena uma unenkinga, you can think ukuthi man, this is the end, this problem angeke isasolveka, but somebody can come with an easy solution for you and tell you, no, let me give this advice, do 1 2 3. So your partner and you and yourself need to unpack everything engathi izoba a problem. Try to write something ezoba ngathi nine problem nayo, you understand, and work out on those kind of problems. Remember, if you pray to God and God is the one that granted that marriage, you're never gonna divorce. Noma ngabe sekuthiwa I've made that biggest mistake in my life, remember, I'm still a human being. You understand?
All right.
For example, I can find out that my partner or my wife, she's got a child, she didn't tell me. That does not mean that I must divorce her, because she's not agathembeki or kanjani. Maybe there's a way whereby it was not easy for her to tell me. Mina ngimshada ngicabanga ukuthi akanamntwana, ushiya umntwana somewhere ekhaya. Mina I know that child ukuthi umntwana kasisi wakhe or umntwana wabani wakhe, whatever case it may be. Then that thing it needs ukuthi sikhulume ngayo, ngimtshele ngithi, but next time don't do 1 2 3, because iyenza ukuthi i-marriage yami ingasabi that attractive. Ngikubona that that somebody ukuthi ngathi unamanga namanje, still you are still doing something ukuthi angiyithandi. Uyayibona?
Right. Thank you so much, Dave. Please mute. Let's give other people a chance. Also, Eagle, please mute on your side. We're still hearing a bit of feedback on your part, because if I mute you, you won't be able to unmute. So kindly do try and mute. Eagle, I hope you can hear me. Okay, so Mpo, I know you have raised your hand, so I'm going to go to you and then Budin. Come to Mpo.
Yeah. So I wanted to just quickly touch as well, because we're letting other people speak, just back it up a bit too. The role of a man as well in marriage, when we spoke about the finances part, and as well as handling pressure in terms of imali, Because yeah, you know what, as gents, when finances are against us, it's like you're going crazy. Even this vein there on the side of your head there starts pounding, and you can feel it. Um, I think one thing a lot of us as men need to learn how to do is to take our egos out of the equation when it comes to the handling of finances. That when we are going through things, when we can't financially provide at that point in time, it does not mean that is the only role that I have in the marriage. I'm a sole believer that as a man, when it comes to marriage, your wife, family, you're called to be a king, prophet, and a priest. As a king, you do what a king does. You protect, you provide, you make sure that everything is happening as well in your house. Whether it's fixing of things that are broken, whether it's driving the car to the filling station to pour fuel for your wife, whether it's washing your wife's car. As a prophet, you need to speak life into the future and the destiny of your family. Constantly you speak life into that, and you're like constantly speaking life into that. And as a priest, you need to learn how. And because I'm speaking from a Christian perspective, so I must not get hammered. Um, as a priest, you are supposed to lead your family in the ways of the Lord, without compromise. So if we are those three things, then we can know how to manage. But if you take because we always break it down to the money part where I cannot provide for my family, I cannot provide. We need to understand that provision is not only financial. Provision, it's emotional, it's psychological, it's physical. Finances is just one part of what a man um ability to provide is. You can provide safety. Somebody's asking that. You can provide safety, you can provide leadership, you can provide mentorship to your kids, you can provide what do you call it, cloth to your wife. There's a lot of things that you can provide over and above money. Money is just one, it's literally 10% of what makes up an entire marriage. So if your wife makes more money than you, yeah, cool, there's more money in the house. It's okay. You cannot be going out there trying to compete with your wife just because she makes more money than you. Then that brings feud, and then all of a sudden people are there's like feathers that gets ruffled, and then you start looking at your wife differently, coming up with ideas, which this woman is not respecting me, she's not talking to me in the right way. Even if she's frustrated and she had a long day at work, you won't pick that up, because in your head you are thinking, oh snap, this woman, just because she makes more money than me, she thinks she can come into this house and behave any way that she wants to. So we need to learn how to grab that ego. And lastly, and I'll say this, vows are not for vibes. Vows are not for vibes. Through thick and thin, richer and poorer, all of the stuff, it's not for vibes. You know what I mean? It's not so that we can take a beautiful picture and say, oh, I got married. No, through thick and thin is, the thin is very thin. It's thinning. It's tough. So we need to learn. Vows are not for vibes. When you make an agreement with God, He says, when you make a promise to the Lord, make sure that you keep it, and don't delay on it. Don't dilly dally, because He takes stuff like that seriously. Yeah, I'll pass it on.
Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you so much appreciated. Leroy, ware ho tshaba ho etsang?
Ngizoyicima le ndawo le yonke le manje. Ngizoyicima. Nizobona ukuthi nina ninoqoqo marriage wenu kuphi.
Can you
Anyway,
please mute yourself, please? I need to conduct and talk to my guests. Abutidin, please come through, sir.
Bantwana bamangoni sanibonani.
Hello.
Greetings to everyone in everyone's different ranking and order. I think I've never seen Leroy have such anxieties. Every speaker, Leroy is just having an anxiety attack. He's slowly getting very, very, very suicidal. Shabupa. And Leroy, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I got you, boy. I got you. Don't worry about these people. These people their things are in order in life. It's just you and I that are that are struggling here. But But I'm just saying, from a point of view of a man that is not married, nor in a relationship, when we hear people like Abu KG speak, we've heard a couple of guys speak about marriages. It's something that we desire. The ideology of the institution itself. It's we all want that. It's making sure that we as the person are equipped enough or qualified enough. Hope. Okay. People are flexing. Yeah, I thought this was a safe space for us people that are not married. Clearly, Levi, like, can I please be protected? Like, please. I
Guys,
I
guys,
promise you, I'm gonna want a disclaimer for this marriage segment right now.
go ahead, man. Go ahead,
like,
like,
like Shababo David, guys. People are just showing their metals. Go there, like, guys. Why? I thought this
I
was a
mean,
safe space.
I mean,
So, KG,
Yes, sir.
clearly, you and your pack are happy today, but it's fine. It's okay. We're not fighting here. I'm just saying.
Yes, sir.
You know, with my biggest challenge, and my biggest worry is me being fully equipped for the institution. It's me being fully equipped to give myself to someone, and I think our biggest problem as people is that we forget to ready ourselves for that journey. And we just look at the journey and we think it's all beautiful and nice. You know, who doesn't want to look as chubby as you are? Because we know those are marriage benefits. Clearly. Yeah, I can tell that your partner is not here or next to you because we're on 36,000 likes. Normally she'll sit on the side and she doesn't even speak. She just tap. I'm just telling you the benefits that I currently know right now that you get. you know,
Why are you revealing all the
I'm so,
secrets, man? Wait, not
I want to
you.
show people that I pay attention. I pay attention. I listen. All these cup of coffees that randomly just come up. We know that you ain't doing that. She is. So we have the desire of such. We have the desire of fulfilling this great need of us belonging to someone. That we can't run away from that statement. It would be very unfair also to put a blame on a gender, to say this is why marriage is not attractive. It would be very wrong. Hence I've been saying for a couple of days, I believe the war is just against good and bad people. And you become a bad person when you don't even check yourself. Are you ready for marriage? Am I equipped? Am I ready enough? Apart from anything else, apart from having money or not, am I mentally even understanding the institution that I'm getting myself into? Because it's a different other world. It's totally different from the society and law that we know, and I think that's our problem. We are quick to make hasty decisions that affects the rest of our lives in just a matter of saying I do, and you're in a contract that you do not understand, that when you want to come out it's even worse, and when you want to stay it's even suicidal. So I believe when we check ourselves first and we find ourselves worthy and we find people that find us worthy, then we compromise to actually ride it.
Oh,
what?
Dean probably received a call. You forgot.
Oh,
You forgot to go on flight mode, Baba. All right, beautiful people. When you come to the panel, make sure you go on Do Not Disturb, so that you run free. But in any case, I I wanted to touch on to the point of the values and how they play a role in marriage. And I think most of the speakers have alluded to it. And I feel so honored today that a lot of men are on the panel. I'm very happy. Thank you so much. And another announcement is that by 12, unfortunately, I have to jump off. So let's try and, get in as much as possible. And when it comes to the values, and the two speakers have spoken from the side, and I can be corrected if I'm wrong, but from the Christian perspective, and the involvement of God, and the involvement of the manual being the Bible, and there was also an illusion of being equally yoked in that regard. And I say this, it is very important, and it was also alluded by Senzo, if I'm not making a mistake. But Dean, I'll give you an opportunity just now. It was alluded by Dean earlier on when he also spoke about the dynamics and how you can work around it if people are not believing and things like that. So it is very important for the two people, it's particularly ideal for the two people to have the same values. It makes the journey easier, it removes a lot of friction. And this would be from an element of religion, the element of tradition, and to an extent, language, and all of these things. They make things easier, but they are also not a prescription in a sense. And as human beings, I believe there's somewhere most of us, maybe others do not have such struggles, but most of us have asked ourselves the question of, why am I here? Who created me? Where am I going? What I ought to do in this world? And in the pursuit of these answers, we have found ourselves into certain beliefs. It could be Christian, could be whatever religious belief you're in. It could also be your cultural background and where you come from. Some have continued in the path, some decided to take a different path. And all of this is in the need to answer this issue of, who am I? What is the purpose? Where am I going? Perhaps who even created me can understand, if there is a creator of me, what is their desire in them having created me? And it works best that you understand and seek those questions, or those answers rather, and live according to those. Because for me, whatever you see your creator is, it's very important to get to know your creator. It is very important to get to know why you are here. And that understanding gives and becomes a light unto your path, to then know what to let into your life and what not to let into your life. And when you fully understand that which you believe in, and that it is good for you to follow, do exactly that. Equally so, continue to question what you believe in, to make sure that you are steadfast in it. You're not wavering in any means. And I always say also, it would be an injustice to yourself when you learn new information and you don't interrogate your past decisions, because we make decisions based on the best available information currently. And if that information has changed, you owe it to yourself to look at the decisions that you have made and see whether they're still in line with that. That also is applicable to beliefs. If you grew up and you were believing in this particular thing, and you come to a new set of beliefs and you interrogate those, and you say, I feel like my life will be more fulfilled here. Study that, follow that, go with that. But I can never stop to emphasize, based on my experience, the value of having a creator and believing in a creator. And for me, that is God. And in that understanding, what is the manual that he has for me to live by, to do life by? And that is exactly how, and I try and model my life around that. And it is very important, because if you do not have a manual that you can refer to, you can easily be swayed. If you do not have a manual to live by, you will repeat the mistakes of your own forefathers. So it's very important that you live according to that. And for me, in the terms of marriage, we speak of the third chord. This third chord is there for your own creator. It is you, it is your wife, and then there is the third chord. And is there a body of knowledge that is there for you to interrogate, that tells you how to then move with this marriage of yours according to the prescription of your creator and according to the understandings of you and understanding. And in my situation, me and my wife rather submit ourselves to Christ Jesus as our Lord and Savior. And therefore, we revert to God and follow the Bible in terms of how we ought to live. And we've come to understand that marriage for us is more of an instruction than it is a decision. It's more of an instruction and what we are called into. And we understand that then you are able to live our lives. We are able to live our lives facing and seeking to live according to what our Creator prescribes for us. And we understand that me loving my wife is an instruction. There's no two ways about it. I don't love her because today I chose something else different, or she unten and therefore I'm not going to love her, or whatever other reason there may be that is compelling. It's an instruction for me to love my wife. It's an instruction for her to equally love me. It's an instruction for her to respect me. It is equally an instruction for me to respect her. This is all found in the manual, that respect is not one way. So once you understand that certain things and living according to a prescription that you see in your life that you can interrogate, there's a body of knowledge. If your body of knowledge is your own parents, your forefathers, study that, ask questions, and I think we can avoid a lot of mistakes that we do purely because we don't want to talk to our parents. We don't want to listen to what the old people are saying, So that is the case. So for me, it is that. And yes, Sedge, when I say being forced to, it is being forced to, because I have decided to submit myself to the ideologies of my creator. And what my creator says, I'm forced to do, because I decided to submit myself to my creator. So it is because I've decided to do exactly that. So you follow through. So let me give Dean to continue. Sorry for that, my brother. Come through. Dean?
I'm just saying, Leroy, Saj, it's only married people that could say such things now. So go to the altar, guys, if you want to be like KG. I'm just saying, I apologize about that. So I truly believe in everyone, especially in every man, because I can't speak for the opposite gender, but I truly believe there's an urge in every man's belly that requires him to be at a stage where he's more than just himself. He is more than just a bachelor, and it calls for us to actually do right by ourselves, and it calls for us to do right by the people that we then invite to partake in our kingdoms, And I know this is going to be so tribalist, but pride is a very good step of a man. And if you know how to play with pride as a woman, you get pretty much everything that you want to get from a man. The only reason why our pride is our weakness is because it can be used against us. So we've seen that in so many places. We've seen that in so many scenarios where we fall very short, or we fall into traps just because of our pride as men. And us admitting to ourselves what we are and what we become, it's it's one of the steps that actually propels us to what we want to achieve. And I truly believe, based on what you something that you said, I believe as partners we should have different views, but see the very same goal. You know, you being upstairs and me being downstairs and looking at a ball that is between us, we still see the ball, we just have different views. And I think that's one of the most perfect scenarios where we can pull people towards each other. If you kind, I have to have a certain level of rudeness, because people are going to take advantage of you. But also, you're going to put a limit to me when I'm overdoing it. You know, it's the goal should always be the same. The vision should always be the same, but the view should be different. And that's where it comes when it says females should have a different view from a man, so they see whatever problem that he might not say at that time. And a man should be humble enough to hear or listen to such advice when it's actually given. You know, we know that the wife is calling. It's fine. You know, so with the desire of us partaking in such institutions, it requires us to be very true to ourselves and very honest to ourselves first. Because I believe that a lot of marriages end because people are not really true to themselves. Hence, knowing that even if they come out honestly to the person that they claim to love, that person won't accept them for who they are, because they've already lied about who they are to themselves and to the other person. So, from a non-married point of view, marriage is very attractive. You know, we have people like Abon Ponyana, adorable sisters like Abo Go with the Gap. They might say marriage is what I promise you, when they go to sleep this winter, it's been a couple of days, but this winter has shown me that God's prayer alone will not warm my bed. I've proven that, and I promise you that, like I saw my electric blanket walk out the bed. I was like, nigga, this is too much. So I know for a fact there is no one that wants to be alone, guys. It's a lie. And if you say that you do, you're just lying to yourself, because your last partner hurt you so much. But we're not there. We're not there. I'm just saying, we desire the same goal. Let's just be better people at it. Let's be better people in starting the journey. Let's be honest people to ourselves. And I think with us learning values, learning principles, learning cultural behaviors and cultural differences, us having the spirit of learning and wanting to know, that's the only time we actually can intertwine and have people intertwine with us. But other than that, guys, if we are still all about the corrupt system, the corrupt lifestyle, we can continue with the path that we are currently on. And Abo Leroy, they're just going to be Leroy's. Abo Dean, they're just going to be Abo Dean. Abo Sage are going to be Sage. And we're just going to watch as you'll kill each other, unalive each other in the institution that you'll call love. And again, I think also we've went too far with the word itself, love, because we don't act it out. We use it when we like it, when it's beneficial to us, and when it's not beneficial to us, it's either hypocrisy, misogynist, or feminism. It's one of those. We have a certain word that we're gonna use depending on the situation. So if we truly love each other, let's love like how Christ did. Let's love to the point where even when it hurts, we have the honesty to tell you that it hurts. And if you truly love, you have the honesty to fix it, if it's fixable. And if it's not, already, guys, divorce is already on a high rate. So we just add more numbers.
Thank you so much, Abutuddin. Well said. You know, just to touch on the issue of, I saw a comment from, I think it's Karabo M. I'd rather be alone than not having peace in my life. Great statement. And I think we need to also interrogate some of these things that we say, like you just said, Wenadine, that there's just a whole lot of things that we have adopted, and they sound very great as motivational statements or some form of, I don't know, WhatsApp statuses, but I think they sometimes, when you go deeper into them, they lose the foundation they claim to stand on. When we, I think as human beings, we, especially now, and we see it in many different ways, the urban life that we live, the high walls we have built, the disregard for life, the disregard of another human, basic respect of, greeting, being courteous to another human being. Ari poninga selo, you just see another person and just like, asimoto, asiselo lighting. And these things permeate every areas of our life. I think there's a saying, Baba Toba Jimmy and all of these mantras, they say how you do one thing in your life most likely is how you're going to do it in other areas of your life, right? So we need to go to Ubuntu that we claim as Africans, that honoring and respecting another human and understanding. And I think also it's these things of, we haven't seen, particularly my generation, we haven't seen struggle to that much, so we have become desensitized to it, that you can't picture seeing Dean in his handsomeness and in the best life that he's living right now, and you can't picture if you would still be with him when he's God forbid, Dean, when he is in his lowest. And if you can't view someone in that manner and still love them regardless, perhaps marriage is not for you. And so much so, I would even go as far as saying perhaps life in itself might not be for you. If you've lost that little thing, and it's funny because sometimes we apply it when it comes to family, and sometimes we have totally lost it, even when it relates to family. If you are able to stick with your brother, your sister, your mother, your father throughout all the bad things that they do or that have been done to them, why would you not be the same with the person that you have chosen to love for life? If you can't picture these things, and I've made this example a lot in this platform, to say that me and my wife, we sit and we talk about, should the worst case scenario happen, what will we do? What decisions can we make now to make sure that in the moment we are not swayed by emotions? If we have to choose between who lives between my wife and my unborn child, what is the decision now? What are we choosing? Are we going to always choose the child? Are we going to choose my wife? Those are difficult conversations that needs to be had during the courting stage, the dating stage, particularly when it's someone that you want to marry. Can you have the discussions of worst case scenario? Because it is when you understand those, thank you, Mpo, we are the same. When you understand those answers to such difficult questions, you make your way a little bit easier. And you can always review them. I mean, we grow in life. We have different experiences that change our perspective in things. Talk with your person and decide what is it going to be, so that when emotions are high, we can be like, no, but we have had this talk before when we were very sober and life was good. This is the decision we made. Let's deal with the decision. If we need to review it, we can review it after, but we have made this decision already. So I would use that child as a shield for my wife. Oh my God, what did I unleash? So we need to be very clear about these things, and we need to learn further and more. And tough conversations must be had, guys. We really, 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 really need, to have these conversations. And hopes Piwe, the live will be posted on YouTube, probably by the end of the day or tomorrow, and you can definitely send it to whoever you would like to share it with. So we need to have these discussions so that we can do life well. And without saying much, Leroy, I'm gonna take maybe 3 minutes, and then I'll give you Marapo to then give your comment so that you don't cry and be on my case later. So in terms of marriage, for me, even as a married person, marriage is still attractive. Marriage is beautiful, not to try and convince you to get into it, but it's very beautiful. And to people who have said it's beautiful when done with the right person, but the right person for me, we can argue it out, but the right person for me is who you make to be your right person. I don't say that now you must go and change a human being. No. But both of you guys can work together to build the type of environment that works for the two of you. And it even is much more easier when you guys submit your marriage to a form of authority. This authority could be your people were saying that they believe in tradition, others is religion, or whatever the case may be. It is great if you can submit your marriage to a certain authority. And I say this, and I've said this to men, and I'm going to repeat it to men. As a man, as a head of the house, and you don't have someone that you're submitting to, you are in danger. I would advise you to submit yourself to Christ. I will fully recommend Christ, because at any point in time, you can be rebuked, you can be advised, your ego will not be bruised, because you have openly and willingly submitted yourself to a higher authority. And that higher authority, you can be held accountable to that. Your own wife can hold you accountable to the authority that you submitted to. Your own authority can then call you out and say, my boy, you're playing games right here. That's not how it's done. And it is needed, and we have somewhat lost that as men. And I've said this before, this whole thing of men learn the way in the road. I'm just paraphrasing in English. That is nonsense, and we need to do away with that. Learn from your parents, learn from your elders, learn from those who have walked the path. Submit yourself to a form of authority and remain accountable. Because if you're not, you are a risk, you are a danger. As a man, you are a dangerous human being. Very dangerous. You can be dangerous to your wife, you can be dangerous to your own kids if you are not checked. Submit yourself to be checked. Nyenye ego, nyenye this, please submit yourself to be checked so that you can see that you can learn and equally lead. You cannot be able to follow when now you say you're going to be a leader but you fail to follow. Who are you leading? Where did you learn that leadership? Leroy, I will leave it here. I would also try to we can give our panelists last comments just for a few seconds, 10 seconds, and then we take it through. So you speak, and then we give them 10 seconds to wrap it up, and we can close the live.
All I'm gonna say is remember to actually get your bottle of Vela gin for 150. You can actually follow them there at Vela Gin ZA. When they are yeah, man, just send them a DM there, and then you can get your bottle, or you can DM Rona here, and then we can make a plan for you. The delivery is not included, by the way, but then hey, let's drink responsibly now. But then guys, you all wrapped it up here beautifully, but then be a good person, by the way. Do you know, I like Okay, let go of this thing of like minangi so he my skeletons, he tota mas blah 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 bullshit like that. Hey, chill, relax. Be a good person, be compromising, and love without limits. Do not like you know what like you know what like leave these what's that the fairy tale. It's or no love lives here and don't dude. Be real with yourself first. You want this, you must be working kana. You must be willing to actually like give this actually that you actually like want. Let's do away with this thing of hey mina nginje, hey monna must, hey mosadi must. You know what, ne? Barking can Serge Barking Serge actually said like something really wonderful actually, ne? Um like somebody was like so Barking the marriage hey like must be 50-50, and then like Serge was like no 100-100. Bon, you come fully, me I come fully, we do the things together. Not for hey, you clean the house, me I bring the money, you do this, me we do it together. 100 for J isn't like bona re etse 200 re kgona go reka vela gene re itumelele re tlhapelwe responsibly. You see, simple
Mute
thing.
yourself, Leroy. Mute yourself.
And
Mute yourself. Or you must play the disclaimer.
mo ke ga ka mo.
Much appreciated. We have 4 minutes left. 10 seconds each. Abutimpo.
Last words. Marry the person you love the person you marry.
Much appreciated. Thank you, sir. Eagle, can you please land again?
Hey, I'm landing. Keyword: forgiveness. Forgive yourself, forgive your partner. Love will come and go, but you will say, God bless.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Abuddin, right on time. Last words.
I believe if you have the ability to tell yourself that you are good, you are definitely not. Those are praise that should come from other people. So let's try and be good. And let us not then give ourselves achievements and patches, but let's try and be good. And in that goodness, hopefully someone sees it, someone falls in love with it, and someone is willing to ride and die for it, you know. But other than that, guys, Tina, we are failures. We are trying each day. And KG told me, but he said I shouldn't tell you. He said this is his prayer. We are failures. We are trying each day. God protect us. God keep us. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Good night.
Hallelujah. Thank you so much for everyone who has come through, people who have joined us for the first time, people who have followed us. Keep coming through. And I would also ask all the men who joined us today, please come through as often as you can. We always appreciate your perspective. The ladies always would like to hear men's advice and men's perspective on certain things. So please come through and bring your A game. And like I said, YouTube, we post these lives. You can go and check the library that we already have of great conversations. We really appreciate everyone who has contributed. Thank you for getting us over 50K. Let's also strive to get to 100K tomorrow. This was our very own Ask a Man. Right? So there we go. And I don't know, there was a request for a part 2. What is everyone saying? Would you like the part 2? Senzo said he wants a part 2 so that he can come through and fully be on the panel and all of that. So let me know if you would like a part 2. I'm always happy. Like I've said, this is my favorite topic to talk about. So Senzo.
Yes, KJ. Mina guys ngisake Cape Town nabafazi bami bobabili. kusamnandi.
Allah.
So bengicela nje just to part 2 so that we can unpack a bit more and maybe get more ladies to join the panel as well.
Yeah.
For now ngisanga la eCamsburg ngizobe nginibona.
Enjoy, cancer. Enjoy. All
Well,
right. So I see all the comments there. Part two. You have reservations. And listen, the reason also we have this conversation is so that we can hear your point. And no point is useless. No point. Even if you have reservations, bring them. Let's talk about it. Let's see. You might realize that your fears are no longer valid. Perhaps there's a perspective that you haven't explored that might have you go over certain things that have been a stumbling block. So come through. There will be people who are married who will speak, but there will also be single people who come through, because also this includes everyone. Is it attractive to you as a single person? Is it attractive to you as a person who, was married and is divorced? Is it attractive? So let's do so. We are here again tomorrow, Le Abuti Leroy, and we're gonna have another wonderful time. So come through. So I will do a part 2 of this. We will just check if will be on Tuesday or Thursday. So let's do that. 20 past 10, we are here. 20 past 10 in the morning, Monday to Friday. We are having wonderful conversations that build us to make sure that we build a society that we dream to see. Thank you so much, Leroy.
100%, but remember to follow Village and that's what, and then bear born and make your order there, ne? Guys, please, ne? Let's drink responsibly. Let's be good people, mother society, and remember, vula, wait, vula, ivela veso valu valu. Yeah.
All righty.
That's what's up.
Cheers, guys. Good day to you all. Really enjoyed today's topic. Wonderful. Let's have it again next week. Cheers, guys.